Hey guys, it's Samantha and welcome back to another YouTube video. You know, one of my favorite things to watch on social media, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or whatever platform it is watching people do videos about like what's in their bag. Whether it's a sports bag because they're an athlete, or if they're traveling, so their suitcase, or if they're a makeup artist, their makeup bag, whatever it is, I just find those so interesting. So I thought it would be really fun to do a what's in my competition bag video. Now, as some of you know, I haven't competed since January because I have been recovering from a spinal cord injury. So my competition bag was unpacked, but I ended up finding some of my competition must-haves and I put them in my bag, and I'm going to show you guys in this video what they are. Here's my bag. It is essentially just a backpack. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first thing first, as you can see on the side, I have a water bottle. This is a must-have with competing for obvious reasons, but it is just really good to make sure that you are staying hydrated, especially with sport karate. There tends to be a lot of waiting around in between divisions, and if it's really hot in there, it's just good to have water on hand. Let's move on to the first compartment. All right, I opened this up. I'm gonna set this here so it is out of screen. First thing I have is my belt. Obviously, very important. You cannot compete without a belt. Now, the only part of my uniform I keep in my backpack is my belt. And this is because I have a separate garment bag for my uniform. I've just found over the years, it's easier to leave it in that and then make sure that it stays nice instead of trying to crumple it up or fold it up in my backpack. All right, moving on. The next thing I have is some hairspray. If I don't have hairspray, then I tend to have hair gel, but just anything that helps keep the hair up. Speaking of hair stuff, I also have a bag with hair ties and bobby pins in it. As you can see, it is pretty empty. Before I compete again, I'm gonna have to make sure that I stock up on hair ties. But I always like to have extra of these just in case one of my hair ties or bobby pins breaks. And also if I have another competitor and if they need some hair ties or bobby pins, I've got them. Moving on, the next thing I have is this icy hot roll-on. Super important, especially if you have injuries. This is really good to have on hand. This gives some good relief. Moving on, the next thing I have is some liquid hand chalk. Now this is a must-have. I literally cannot compete without this. And I've got my students hooked on this too. A lot of times before you compete, especially with a weapon, your hands get super sweaty. And then when you are trying to handle a bow, it makes it extremely difficult. So having this chalk has been a total lifesaver. If you do not have this in your competition bag yet, I 100% recommend. Your life will be forever changed. All right, the next thing I got is a bottle of ibuprofen. If you are an athlete and if you've ever competed with injuries or sore muscles, you know this is a must-have. Next up, I have my AirPods. This is such a must-have for me. I have these in my ears pretty much the entire time up until I compete. That way I can just block out everything around me and then listen to some of my favorite music so then I can stay in the zone. Moving on to the next compartment. One thing about me is I like to be over-prepared for any situation. So you might be watching this and thinking, why does she need all that stuff? And like I said, I just like to be prepared. So with that being said, I have a box of lidocaine patches. I don't typically use these. I like to use the icy hot instead just because I feel like it works better, but this is a good alternative too, just in case. I also have a box of instant cold packs. I've actually had to use these quite a bit, especially with the past year with me battling an injury. These are just really good to have on hand, especially in between divisions. If you need a quick ice pack, then this is the way to go. Moving on, I have a hairbrush. Obvious reasons, good to have on hand. Next up, I also have some essential oils with me that I bring with. One of them is peppermint. I use this for normally pain or discomfort. And the second one is a citrusy one. I like to use this for like aromatherapy. Moving on to the next compartment. I call this like my snack compartment. So with that being said, the first thing I have is some dried fruit. One thing about me, I love fruit. And I have found that dried fruit is easier for me to have before competing, so I always bring this with. Next up, I have a fruit strip. Like I said, I love fruit, and I have found that if I need a quick bite to eat in between divisions, this is a really good option. Next up, I have some Ritz peanut butter crackers. These are really good, and with the peanut butter, there's also protein in it, which is good energy. And I have found that my students also really like these, so I normally bring quite a few of these in my bag, so then that way if a student needs something too, they can have one of these. Speaking of peanut butter and protein, I also have these Aloha protein bars, peanut butter chocolate. These are really good, and I like to have these like an hour before I compete, and usually these can hold me through my competing, and I have found that these help sustain me and I don't feel too full from it, which is really good, especially when you're competing. I also have a pack of gum because why not, I guess. Actually, that's a lie. The amount of like judges and promoters that I've had go up to me over the years and ask me if I have any gum on hand, I guess this is for them. And I've also got chapstick. This I honestly just bring with me wherever I go, so it goes in the competition bag too. And that is what I typically put in my competition bag. Like I said at the beginning, I know I enjoy getting to watch videos of people showing what's in their bags, whether it's a competition bag or travel bag, whatever it is. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Also, if you are new to sport karate competition and if you are wondering what should you bring with to tournaments, hopefully you could get some inspiration from this video. As always, if you would like to see more content just like this, make sure to subscribe so then you don't miss out. And if there are any specific videos that you would like to see, let me know in the comments and maybe you'll see a video on it. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next video.